everybody. ShaVonne here with Suvidha Bandi. And we are here outside of Tiny House on Earth Day. She has been a huge advocate for livable spaces throughout Houston and the surrounding areas. And she's promoting as well as advocating for more of these livable spaces to be throughout the city of Houston. Just tell us why livable spaces are so important.
It is important for us, as the city is growing, for us to think about how our housing development is happening. So we are promoting to allow more variety of housing types to happen in Houston so that we can have a city that is equitable, walkable, and also attainable or affordable for all Houstonians. So our goal is that.
And it's Earth Day, of course. Tell us how that plays a role in us being more viable for our earth that we live on.
So in terms of Earth Day, one of the things we are also talking about is to make sure that there is more less impervious cover within our public right-of-ways. And this goal, one of the things that we are promoting is less number of driveways to encourage housing that uses less impervious cover. So that relates to Earth Day. And we all want to provide Houston for our younger generations to have a Houston that is more green. So that's also related to our project.
Perfect. I like to go to Navasota. I like to spend time in the cabins in Navasota. And I always thought to myself what that would be like having those livable spaces here in Houston. So I think it's a great idea. What are some of the things that it does for our area?
Some of the things it does is it allows the city to become more walkable. So when we reduce the number of driveways, it makes the city more walkable, and the homes, we want the homes to front the street. So there will be a neighborhood character, and it will help people to interact with each other. So that will help. And also, as Houston is growing and there are more smaller households happening, we want to see more smaller house being built. So something like this, like a tiny home. Today, even for such a home to be built, the lot sizes requirements are larger. So we took a look at our development regulations and made sure that all of the goals of Plan Houston, Resilient Houston, and Climate Action Plan are taken into consideration, and we are amending our ordinance regulations to make sure we allow smaller, beautiful homes like these.
Perfect. I'm going to throw it to Travis. He's going to take us on the inside of this fabulous tiny house. Travis, give us a nice little tour, man.
All right. Thank you, ShaVonne. I am here with Jamie Conlan. He is the builder of the Smouse Tiny House. And let's go take a look inside, and you can give us a little bit of a tour.
I'll stand over here so you guys can have some more circulating room.
All right.
This is what we call our city model. We call it that because it's designed to interface directly with city utilities. So you would connect this to the sewer, the electrical, and the water the same as you would with any type of house. We have future plans to do an off-grid model as well that would have solar panels, composting toilet, that sort of thing. But this is built permanently attached to an 18-foot by 8-foot trailer frame. The trailer frame was specifically designed for tiny houses and permanently attached. That gives us an 18 by 8 footprint on the ground, and then up here we have an 8-foot by 10-foot loft space that's big enough to have a king-size mattress with a little bit of extra room to circulate around. It gives us a total square footage of 225 square feet between the loft and the ground floor here. Even though it's a tiny house, it's built with full-size amenities, so full-size kitchen sink, a cooktop, full-size toilet and shower. Really the only thing that's small or tiny-sized is the refrigerator. Everything else is about what you'd expect to see in a normal house. And we did it that way so that you would feel comfortable and at home, even though it's a smaller space.
Now, what are some of the questions you get from those who are thinking about, downgrading from the house they live in now to a tiny house?
So honestly, at least in terms of today, we haven't gotten a lot of questions in terms of how to best downsize. That's a very personal question, and it's going to be different for most people. It takes a lot in order to completely downsize your life to fit it into a footprint this small. And it takes dedication, I think. But I think that if you have the amenities that a tiny house like this has, it'll make that transition a little bit simpler. Versus if you were, say, going to try to live in an RV where there's an RV shower and an RV toilet, you know, you're trading not only the space of a traditional home, but the amenities of a traditional home as well. Where this one bridges the gap, where at least you have real home-style amenities.
Now, as far as tiny houses, I know that people have also gone with containers
Yes.
as a way to get into the
Yes.
tiny house market.
Yeah, so we haven't done a container model, but I would like to do one in the future. The benefit of doing a container is that the structure is already there. It's the container. So it makes it a little bit simpler, at least as a DIYer, to get into the idea and the process of building your own. You don't have to frame, like I had to frame this entire thing from the ground up. This is built the same way I would build any house. It's 2x4 exterior wall construction, fully insulated, fully hurricane strapped, built to any applicable codes, although it doesn't have to conform to any applicable codes because it's on a trailer frame, it's still built to them.
All right, Jamie. Well, I thank you for your time, giving us
you.
a short little tour here
absolutely.
inside your tiny house. Travis Leamons, ShaVonne Herdon. We got a few more of these little drop-ins, so stay tuned for more right here on Earth Day, Houston, HTX, Festival Day, whatever, here on HTV Houston Television.